Today I'm going to give an overview of the college admissions timeline. I will provide links to more detailed timelines if you're interested. This is the first video out of a series about applying to college, so hopefully my other videos will be out soon. Before I get started, I just wanted to note that I'm going to be a high school senior this year, so I'm not an expert. I just wanted to share some of the information that I've gathered. This is not the only way to approach college admissions, so don't feel bad if you didn't go this route or feel like you have to abide by these guidelines. These are just some tips that I think would be useful for anyone who is planning on applying to college. I'm going to start the timeline with junior year because that's when most of the action starts. However, you can start planning for college as early as your freshman year if you want to. Starting early will save you from a lot of stress and work during your junior and senior years. Before we get into the school year, let's start with the summer before junior year. This summer is probably the most ideal time to start studying for the SAT or ACT. You're most likely going to take the real SAT or ACT during your junior or senior year, so take advantage of the time you have during the summer. Use this time to take practice tests and figure out which tests work better for you. For any freshmen, sophomores, or even middle schoolers watching, you can also take the PSAT 8-9 or PSAT 10 before your junior year to prepare for the SAT. During the school year, you should focus on taking some kind of standardized test and thinking about colleges. One of the first things you should do is consider taking the PSAT/NMSQT. If you do well, you can earn money and scholarships for college. For example, at USC, you can get a half tuition scholarship for being a National Merit Finalist. This is why studying the summer before junior year would come in handy. If you haven't already, you should sign up to take either the SAT or the ACT, or both. Obviously, a lot of things are different right now due to COVID-19, so don't feel pressure to take these tests if it's not safe yet. In addition to standardized tests, start thinking about colleges more seriously, if that's what you plan to do after high school. Think about what subjects interest you and maybe even any majors that you want to pursue in college. Lots of people change their major anyway, so don't feel like you're going to be stuck with that major forever. According to a study by the U.S. Department of Education, 1/3 of college students change their major within the first 3 years. Choosing your major when you apply to college could look better than going in undecided. However, this also depends on how selective the school is. During the school year, you should also start researching and visiting colleges. Attend college fairs and take advantage of any opportunities to communicate with your local colleges. Demonstrating interest in schools before you apply can help you stand out a little bit more among other applicants. Since visiting colleges and attending events in person is going to be especially hard this year due to COVID-19, you can show demonstrated interest in colleges by attending virtual information sessions. Another important thing that you should start doing even before junior year is look for scholarships. Some scholarships are only eligible for seniors, but there are plenty that have no age requirements. And if you do find scholarships that you aren't old enough for, save those and apply to those later on. Moving on to senior year. Once again, there are more things that you can do during the summer to prepare. Start to finalize your college list and narrow down which colleges you plan on applying to in the fall. You should also start brainstorming essay topics or what you want to write about in your college essays. The earlier you start doing this, the more ideas you're going to have when it's time to actually start writing your essays. You can Google prompts from previous years to get an idea of what you could write your essays about. Once colleges or the Common App open their applications, you should check the prompts as soon as possible. If you have a pretty good idea, you can start writing some of your essays and then revise later on. If you're still not sure, you can continue to brainstorm and wait until later on to start writing. But the earlier you write your rough draft, the more time you have to revise. As the school year starts, you should be starting your college applications. This date may be different for each school, but most applications open on August 1st. Even if you don't start writing your essay on August 1st, it's a good idea to start creating your college application accounts and look over essays and information that you need to fill out. If you fill out all of the personal information before school starts, then you'll only have to worry about your essays during the school year. Now that you know exactly what prompts your schools are asking for, it's time to write and revise your essays. Ask as many friends and teachers to read your essays and help you. You should also start to ask your teachers for letters of recommendation. It's a good idea to ask for your teachers a month before the deadline so that they have enough time to submit it on time. Next, you should work on filling out the FAFSA and applying for financial aid. Make sure to fill out the FAFSA even if you don't think you qualify for any aid. The FAFSA opens on October 1st, but it's better to fill it out as soon as possible. Some states operate on a first-come, first-served basis, so the faster you fill out your form, the more likely you are to receive financial aid. In addition to the FAFSA, you should also begin to apply for other forms of financial aid and scholarships. Some schools may require you to submit a separate application to be considered for different scholarships, so make sure to check the websites of each college that you are applying to. A couple things that I forgot to mention. The CSS is another financial aid form to fill out for certain colleges. It opens on August 1st like the FAFSA. Also, a lot of colleges are going test optional this year, so make sure to check each one that you're applying to. Next, you'll start to submit your college applications. This can start as early as November or as late as February, depending on how you apply. Some colleges may conduct interviews, so you may have to go to some of those. You'll start hearing back from colleges between December and April, once again depending on how and when you applied to your schools. After getting your results and financial aid plans, you'll then decide what school you'll attend in the fall. This is a pretty broad overview of the college admissions process, and there are several topics that I did not cover in depth, like researching colleges and looking for financial aid. I'll be making more videos that address more specific aspects of the process soon.